New developments in the death of an inmate who was incarcerated in Oneida County. The Department of Corrections commissioner says 11 staff members involved in the incident have been placed on leave. This all happening at a separate corrections facility right across the street from where Rochester native Robert Brooks died after video shows he was beaten by corrections officers just 3 months ago.
This is not new. This is not new. This has been happening for decades. They killed my friend, Mikey Shimahorn. I believe that in my soul. Do I have proof of that? No, it was before body cams were worn. You guys watch them beat Robert Brooks. It's what they do. They take inmates, they brutally beat them, then they take them to the infirmary or the hospital where they die. It is a routine thing that they do. Everyone that's still protesting, y'all. I don't feel bad for you at all. I've watched you kill people for years. I've watched you beat people for years, my friends and family included. For those of you that don't know, I am from upstate New York. I've served time in New York. This is right where I'm from. I have family that lives in Utica, which is right by Marcy and Oneida, and I've watched them do this for years. It's hard to not get emotional. A couple of the officers that beat Robert Brooks to death also beat my ex-boyfriend really badly. He survived, but he is currently incarcerated again in upstate New York, and it's just hard. Maybe corrections officers wouldn't be short-staffed if their coworkers stopped killing people. Wild, right? And the corrections officers that are on strike, again, I don't feel bad for you. The reason why inmates retaliate and the reason why there are staff assaults is because you don't respect the inmates, because you torture them and beat them. And a lot of the cause for a lot of the corrections officers not going back to work is because they want New York State to repeal the HALT Act. And the HALT Act restricts the use of solitary confinement. So officers are pissed. They can't put inmates in solitary and forget about them for months on end, years at a time, which is actual psychological torture. And I'm proud of New York State for introducing the HALT Act. So direct retaliation is always on the inmates. But Jess, what about officer safety? I want officers safe. I want officers to go into work every day and feel safe. That starts with respect. As a former inmate, I can promise you, if you show us respect, we'll show you respect right back. We'll protect you even. If an officer is in a dangerous situation with an inmate and that officer has been good to us, we will stand up for that officer. We'll protect that officer. On my life, I would risk my own life to save a good officer if I was incarcerated. And so would so many other inmates. It kind of cut off, I'm sorry, but there have been 1,938 staff assaults and 2,697 assaults on inmates. So staff members are beating inmates more than inmates are beating staff members. The officers still protesting, get your ass back to work, because all you are doing is causing more harm to those inmates and you know it. They're not repealing the HALT Act, but they are going to work with you when it comes to you guys not working ridiculous hours, which I stand behind too. You guys should not be working 48-hour shifts. That's batshit crazy. But get your ass back to work. Learn how to communicate with inmates rather than beating them and shoving them in solitary confinement for months. If that's all you were trained to do, you have no right being an officer.